Our online services will resume in September, and in the meantime, every Sunday throughout August at 10:30 on Facebook or YouTube, Mike or Peter will offer a short reflection based on the letter of James. Once you've listened to that, why not check out an earlier online service that you might have missed? Or on another Sunday, why not listen to one of our earlier sermons that are recorded?
I'm reading from James chapter 4, verse 10 and verses 13 to 16. Humble yourselves before the Lord, and he will lift you up. Now listen, you who say, today or tomorrow we will go to this or that city, spend a year there, carry on business and make money. Why? You do not even know what will happen tomorrow. What is your life? You are a mist that appears for a little while and then vanishes. Instead, you ought to say, if it is the Lord's will, we will live and do this or that. As it is, you boast in your arrogant schemes. All such boasting is evil. Those words, you do not even know what will happen tomorrow, ring so true when we think about this year 2020. We had no idea, did we? Coronavirus hit us like an asteroid and everything was disrupted. Every sphere of life, every industry, and all our plans had to be altered, postponed or cancelled. Jenny and I were supposed to be going to Menorca for Jenny's dad's 60th birthday. We also were supposed to be going to a couple of weddings. We were supposed to be going to Ashburnham for a church weekend away with you, but all of that has had to be put on hold, and that hasn't been easy. How have you found it? How have you coped with the disruption? What has been your experience as a result? Anger, loss, anxiety, numbness? These are all natural responses. When I think of plans being disrupted, I can't help but think of Boris Johnson, our Prime Minister, because after such a historic victory at the last general election, he and his reformed government had big plans for our country. But just a few months later, our country was reeling in the face of this pandemic, and our Prime Minister himself was in intensive care fighting for his life. That was not in the manifesto. As individuals and as a country, we've had to face up to our fragility. To use the words of James and Ecclesiastes, we are a mist that appears for a little while and then vanishes. In this uncertain life, we find two certainties, birth and death. Since Mike reflected a little on mortality a few weeks ago, let me take the other theme, natality or birth. We are all born vulnerable, born dependent. We have survived to this point because of these elaborate networks of mutual dependence and interdependence. It's amazing that we've even survived by the grace of God and the care of human beings. But it's so easy as we grow up to lose sight of these networks, to imagine ourselves independent masters of our destiny, to say today or tomorrow we will go to this or that city, spend a year there, carry on business and make money. We will take hold of the future. We will secure our survival. We will push the limits. One of my favourite programmes is Grand Designs, where people design and build their dream homes. Jenny and I have been going through the back catalogue and we've been watching some episodes from 2008. You probably know what I'm going to say next. These are some of the most painful episodes to watch because the dream home depends on so many things going according to plan. Money being lent, jobs being kept, businesses being profitable, other property being sold, and of course the 2008 recession threw all of that into chaos. And these dream houses had to be severely altered or the build postponed or other belongings sold to fund it. Some people essentially ended up in poverty trying to build these houses. Like with our recent experience of the pandemic, they didn't see it coming. They were caught off guard. When our plans get disrupted, it can be very humbling, a very humbling experience. And there is the potential for our pride, if we have it, arrogance, if we have it, boasting, if we have it, to be revealed for what it is. Our character gets put in the spotlight. And this is what James is writing all about. He's not saying don't make plans. He's challenging the attitude with which we make and hold our plans. He encourages us, submit yourself and your ideas and your plans to God. Humble yourself before God. To recognise that our future depends not on our own independent mastery of life, finances, environment, but rather on our place and contribution to this complex web of mutual relationships that God has created and continues to sustain. And Boris Johnson shows some awareness of this when he credits the team of nurses and doctors who cared for him in intensive care. He knows that he didn't win that battle with coronavirus single-handedly. His survival, much like the survival of a newborn baby, was dependent on the care and nurture of countless people. So how would you describe the attitude with which you make and hold your plans? How can you submit your plans to God today? How can you humble yourself before God today? Who has helped you to get to this point in your life? If you were to describe the web of relationships that have enabled you to survive and thrive, what would that web look like? Who would be there? As I wrap this up, here are two words: humble ambition, or we might say ambitious humility. And I wanted to bring these two words together because humility is not the opposite of ambition. Humility complements ambition beautifully. If you're an ambitious person, great, don't change. I wish more people were. Ambitious people who make plans with humility are an inspiration to be around. They're rooted, grounded, recognizing their dependence on God and their dependence on that web of interdependent relationships. Might you be becoming that humble, ambitious person?
When I survey the wondrous cross on which the Prince of Glory died, my richest gain I count but loss, and poor content on all my pride. Forbid, Lord, that I should boast, save in the death of Christ my God. All the vain things that charm me most, I sacrifice them to His blood. See from His head, His hands, His feet, sorrow and love flow mingled down. Did such love and sorrow meet, or thorns compose, so rich a crown were the whole realm of nature mine, that were an offering far too small